Hello there, I'm Richard Warner, and this is Erica Arvold.
Hello.
And we have a very kind of a serious thing we want to kick around today, and that is about burnout. Actor burnout, artistic burnout. So let's start here by...
Danger.
Yeah,
burnout,
right.
yes.
By going right at it, which is, what are the reasons for burnout? Why does a performer, why does an actor, can we start with actors? What are your ideas on why an actor burns out?
Well, because you get on a treadmill, right? Absolutely. And you're like, I want more parts, I want to work harder. If I work harder, I'm going to get better. I want to keep training, and
It's not like, I was thinking about this, that it's not like if I'm planting a garden, like I'm a wonderful farmer, I can have the satisfaction of seeing it growing, or building a house. We don't have that satisfaction. Some of us do.
There's always something else. There's always something else that one could be doing that could make the difference. I think there's also this mentality, and it's the Hollywood, it's the dream, right? And it's the carrot. How far away is that carrot? Right. And you just run as fast as you can towards that carrot. And yet you might forget, or in my case, to eat or to drink water or, things, and, or recharge. And that's what happened. I mean, to me, very personally, that is when I feel I'm getting frustrated over every minuscule thing I'm doing, or I'm not experiencing the joy that I used to feel, and that's usually manifested by me being really grumpy. I know I'm approaching burnout, or I'm in burnout, and I need to take a break. Right. I need to just get off that treadmill and nurture myself and be compassionate to my own humanity and say, okay, let's slow down for a bit, and then when I'm ready, I'll get back on the treadmill, and it's much more fun.
I sometimes tell actors that you have to be your own personal trainer in some ways. It's nice if you have a personal trainer, but your own personal trainer. For me, so if we define burnout, actor burnout, the best definition I've heard of it is from a colleague, Robert Cohen, who is a master teacher taught in California a lot, and that is the occupational hazard of an actor is going deaf. DEAF, depressed, envious, anxious, and frustrated. And they're all part of our world. We have to deal with them constantly. Depressed, you're talking about that treadmill. Envious, that person's getting ahead and I'm working harder. Anxious, how am I going to pay the bills? And frustrated in the sense of, it doesn't seem to be moving forward. My career, that nugget in LA, that feature film is just seems to be the same,
Yes.
So we're constantly going through that. And I think we have to listen to Erica's advice, and that is, what I mean by own personal trainer is very simply to know when you've had your limit and know that you need to balance out the business end and the artistic end. What I see actors doing is they pummel themselves with the business thing and they don't take care of the artist in themselves. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that in any precious way.
I dare say that's not just actors. That's every creative artist, because I struggle with that a lot, because I run a company, I run a business, there, and then there's business of casting, business of producing, business of directing, business of all this stuff. And yet that pilot light that initiated my passion for this industry and for this type of creative work, if the business is the smoke, use that analogy, that pilot light maybe can't be seen anymore. And when there's too much smoke,
Absolutely.
I gotta see that pilot light's gotta be bright.
Yeah, and that pilot light's interesting for me, changes over your career. Mm-hmm. You can't go back and say, what was the thing that inspired me when I was a teenager? That's not going to work. It's going to have to. Well, it might. Yeah, it might. Okay, yeah. Right. Why it could be different for different people. Yeah. It doesn't inspire me because my reasons for getting into business are distinctly different than they are now. So there's a sense for me of knowing that pilot light, I have to constantly fuel it with different fuels. I want the light to keep going, but I might have to try different fuels to do that. And Erica's idea is good, is that I think there are different levels of this. If you're in it for keeps, then in fact you're in it to practice, and that means that it's not just you're in the gig and working as an artist, it's when you're outside the performing gigs you're also doing it, and you want to diversify. It might be that you've done enough film and you really need to get back to theater and work in theater. It might be just a really good class would really help me out, just to revive, recharge what's going on there. It might mean I have to drop out altogether for a month now and just simply have carefree time, almost vacationing, reading or doing something other than film, theater, TV.
I think of a writer. I think in our society, or at least in our creative society, we understand that writers they write every day, but there is a process of writing that happens in exploration in your brain, and it's not that the word comes out perfect. Right. And I think if you could apply that to the other crafts, especially actors, it's okay to have that time, that creative juice, making time is mandatory to keeping that pilot light on.
Right. It's what keeps the imagination going.
Exactly. And reflection is a part of that, and giving yourself time to reflect, I think, is really important. And if you're on that treadmill, it's very difficult to reflect.
Yeah. So our tip would be, I guess, fairly obvious, which is self-awareness, being aware of the fact that I am grumpy, or I'm moving toward, and then to do something about it, and have effective ways of really knowing that these are the things that are going to bring me joy.
And with the burnout in particular, I just did this the other day with somebody, is I said, here you go, and they took it. Here you go, Richard. There's your pass.
I've got a pass from Erica.
That means to take a break.
Right.
So much pressure. We put so much pressure on ourselves. Just take a pass. You don't need pressure for however long, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. You can give yourself a pass.
And you got to trust that in that relaxation, great things can happen.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Hopefully that helps.